Equestrias Mirage Dream Warriors by yours truly, Chapter 9, Nightmare of Loss. We all have nightmare dreams, but then we have nightmares. The nightmare of loss. Applejack let out a small shudder as the cold wind blew over her coat, her eyes slowly getting used to the darkness that was surrounding her. After a few blinks to adjust her eyes, she quickly realized where she was. Oh, buck no. We seem, Octavia said, walking up behind Applejack. She looked at each gravestone around her, to be in the middle of the graveyard. Another shudder came along her spine as she felt the unnaturalness of the graveyard come over her. I could see that, but why in tarnation would Twilight be having a nightmare of a graveyard? Indeed, Octavia remarked, looking at the gravestones that surrounded her. I do hope that Mirage's nightmares would be more creative than just a threat to kill each one of her friends. Yeah, me too, Applejack said, shaking. She never did like graveyards. Whether it was from her own loss of her parents, or feeling that death pyramided such a place, she had no idea. All the orange mare knew at that moment was she wanted out, and fast. The dead leaves crunched beneath the two mares as they walked through the lifeless grounds, while the cold wind continued to blow through the area. Wind carrying it with a mournful sound that resembled the moans of all who were dead in that landscape. The ones who missed the living and the ability to be with the ones they loved. Reaching up with her hoof, Auntie pressed her hand against her head to stop it from blowing away. Thanks to the wind. This suddenly caught her eyes. Looking at one of the graves, she let out a gasp and said, "Backed up. Don't tell me, see." Octavia watched as Applejack stopped in mid-sentence and ran off. Reaching out a little hoof, she tried calling to her the quickly disappearing mare. Eyebrow watched. The musician watched and looked down the grave that Auntie had gotten done reading. Now, what on earth could have Applejack... Oh my. Octavia let out a gasp as she read, Apple Bloom, age 85 years. The witch! Octavia muttered under her breath as she followed Applejack to the graveyard. Names continued to pass them by. All of them ponies they knew. All of them lost because of the passage of time. The crisp crunching of the leaves, the howling wind surrounded them as they continued to run through the graveyard. Octavia's light purple eyes continued to look over each headstone, dreading the moment she might find her own. As they continued their run, the howling, wailing wind slowly morphed into a soft whimpers of a mare in sorrow. Nearing the source of the wailing, began to turn the howling wind into sorrowful wails of a young alicorn. Applejack began to slow her pace as she saw the alicorn sitting in the middle of a plot that was separate from the rest of the graveyard. As she began to near the gravestone of what she read there, filled Applejack with emotions of cold and pure rage. Oh, Mirage, I swear when I find you, I'm gonna ram that tail down your throat! She growled. She looked at each grave over her shoulder of the weeping alicorn. Abigail Jacqueline III, age 94. Rainbow Danger Dash, age 95. Rarity Bell, age 96. Flashlight Firewing, age 98. Pickamia Diane Pie, age 97. Celestia above. Applejack said under her breath, looking under her to Twilight. I'm so sorry, Sugar Cube. It's all right, Twilight. It's all right, Applejack. Twilight sniffled, must have talking to two ponies. It's all right. You two are not the first Applejack I heard this day, or week, or month. I hear them all the time I come here. Their voices. I can sometimes see their faces. Princess, how long have you been coming here? Octavia asked, eyebrow arched. Every day, for the past 7 months, Twilight said calmly, looking over the flowers she had left on each grave. Oh, Twilight, Applejack thought. She reached down her hoof to cover her friend, only to watch her hoof pass her by. I see them all the time when I come here, you know. Them alive and running around Ponyville talking to me. I see their smiles, and I watch them smile so happily when they leave me. Twilight began to say as she lowered her head and began to cry. Damn this, Celestia. I wish I had never gotten these wings. Sugar Cube, you know you don't mean that. The buck I don't! Twilight shouted, interrupting Applejack. If she had never sent me that book, then I would have never gotten these stupid wings! Hi, Celestia never gave those wings to you. They came from us because of how close we had all become. Nobody made you read that book but yourself. And nobody told you to read it out loud like you did. I always gotta point that out to people who complain about, Celestia did this to Twilight. No, Twilight read the book out loud, on her own. Twilight opened the book on her own. She made the decisions. Celestia only gave Twilight the option. Or are you the type of people who really think that if you were given a gun and didn't shoot, you blame the person that you were gifted the gun to? Ignoring Applejack's argument, Twilight muttered under her breath. If these wings were a gift for being such a good friend, I wish I never came to Plainville. Twilight, you better not say something you can't take back. Were you up on Nightmare Balloon, studying things like you did? All that was you. Are you really saying that you would throw it all away, our friendship, and the things you did, and all the ponies you helped? Applejack asked, her brow furrowing in rage. I just seen Twilight turn away in silence. She let out a growl. I don't fucking believe you. If you get like this when we died, what were you going to do when your parents died? Just hold yourself up in your little tree forever? What do you know? Twilight yelled, anger stopping her from thinking calmly. I just lost my 5 best friends, like you lost. Don't you dare tell me I don't know what it's like! Applejack yelled, letting out a snore of hot anger. I lost my parents when I was only 12. This is different, Twilight objected. Like bucket is, Applejack growled, being held back by Octavia. Again, all these immortal Twilight fics seem to have Twilight being breaking every time she loses somebody. I had to ask, what were you thinking she was going to do when she lost her mom and dad? When she lost Shining? They're older than her. Did she think she was going to break down then too? I've lost plenty of people too. But there's those of us who can take the pain, internalize it, and move on. Keeping the memories of those that are long past close to us in our hearts. Looking worried, Octavia whispered, Applejack, sometimes we need to hold back before we say something we regret. Laying aside, Applejack turned her away from Twilight in disgust, instead of a growl in her voice. And I thought you were stronger than this. And that's really my feeling towards Immortal Twilight sad fics. I think those people underestimate Twilight's strength. And every time I read those, that's the question I always say to myself. And here I thought Twilight was stronger than this. And every time I read those, I feel like those people are saying Twilight isn't stronger. Quite frankly, that's insulting. With a long, sad sigh, left Twilight as she spread her wings and turned around. You thought wrong. And with that, she flew off. With a frown, Applejack turned away and walked off. Octavia walking close behind her. Applejack, you're not planning on abandoning her, are you? No. I just need a moment to think will clear my head. Applejack said, kicking a nearby gravestone. I just can't believe she gave up like that. We die, and what happens? She gives up on everything? Never thought I would see the day. Yours Mare solemnly said, while Octavia stood back, allowing the mare to continue her rant. On the day my parents died, I was a wreck. For a whole week, I barely did anything. Got out to see anybody, barely said 5 words to my family. Then Big Mac came to my room one night, and he told me, Applejack, you have to be strong for me now. Apple needs all the love she can get from you, and you need to do things I can't do. So you became that tree, Octavia said, watching Applejack nod in response. I did everything I could to support them. I pushed myself to the limit. Extra chores, baking, planning, treating stores, going to the market, all of it. I did it all. When I met my friends, I did not any less. Any problem they had, I would put it on my shoulders. Their pain, mine. I would shoulder all their pain for them. But you know what? I still had hope. Slowly, Applejack looked over to the slowing pink purple dot that was her friend. Because I figured that, even if I ever fail, she always had my back. I could trust her to support me whenever I failed. She was always helping me do things I couldn't. Now see her like this? Octavia placed her hoof on Applejack's shoulder and sighed. Sometimes, even the strongest of us fall, and the ones we believe are our strength are the ones that we need our love and help the most. Taking a deep breath, Applejack readjusted her hat and turned back around with the slowly fading twilight. Putting her hat over her eyes, she narrowed her eyes and determination began to walk away. You're right, and I don't think I know to help her. As Applejack trotted away, Trixie appeared next to Octavia. And you did that without having to knock some sense into either one of them. Cool, Trixie! Impressed. The gray-haired pony sighed. When one is a musician, you need to be able to sit back and listen to both your music as well as your bandmates. I've now learned that once to just sit back and listen to others rant and yell before you say something. It is an annoying habit that Finer hates. Trixie thinks it's more of an admirable trait, Trixie said, smiling softly. Octavia nodded in response. They quickly then ran to catch up to Twilight and Applejack. Luckily for her, she didn't have far to run in order to catch up with her former counterpart, as Applejack had already slowed to a trot to approach Twilight. Twilight? If this is another argument waiting to happen, I don't want to hear it, especially from a dead friend. Twilight spat. No, not an argument. Those equations, Sugar Cube. Applejack asked, walking slowly. What a stupid question. Are you really alone? What a stupid question. Yes, I am, Twilight yelled. No, you ain't. And here are the 4 reasons why. Applejack stated, not changing her motherly tone. Spike, Cadence, Luna, and Celestia. 3 of them have to deal with immortality, and 1 has to deal with living longer than any of us. Do you know what all this moping around is doing to them? Are you saying they don't count as friends or family? Twilight turned her away. They're different. Hell, are you saying you're better than they are because you're dealing with a loss, or worse? You don't think Cadence is upset because how she lost your brother? I'm sure Celestia's lost political friends by now. Now, she's losing her daughter. Applejack said, looking at Twilight with her eyes. Twilight sighed. They're different because they live with this. Well, you can't? They seem to be able to be pretty dang well. Are you saying I should face eternity alone? And I should forget about all of you? Twilight yelled. Applejack shook her head. I'm saying you should learn to move on. To remember what you do have. You have a sister-in-law, a gal who thinks you as a niece, and a mayor who thinks you as a daughter. Then there's Spike. See, that's the other thing I always wanted to address with this when it came to Immortal Twilight Fix. Isn't it kind of insulting when you sit back and think about it? That Luna, Celestia, Discord, and who knows how many other long-lived beings have had to deal with this type of thing for centuries. And Twilight's just shrugging them all off and basically saying, my pain is different. You never had to deal with my pain. I'm all alone. Makes Twilight come kind of selfish, you know? Like, what, Twilight didn't look or didn't talk to? You don't have to forget your friends when they go away. Keep all the memories in your heart. Keep them close to you and make new ones. Cherish the future that's to come. Twilight smiles at this. Spike, what does he have to do with this? Think about it. I want to think you real hard about it. Before you got those things, who's going to outlive you? Applejack asked. Spike, Twilight said. I was growing wise to begin to realize something. And if any pony was going to be alone when we die, it was going to be him, Applejack said. His mother figure gone. The mare he loves dead. And it's more of a pony than a dragon. Yeah, I think he knows something about being alone. Now think about how much it must be hurting him right now. One of the few ponies out there who could live as long as he is and she's busy milking. Think of how heartbroken he is. I never thought about... Twilight drifted off. Do you know what? I ain't getting that now. Applejack chuckled. I'm like, just look at all he's doing. Like friends, having fun, living. The worst thing one can do with a long life is to squander it by dwelling on those who are gone. Octavia interjected. After all, a pony is more than just a flesh. The heart and memories are far more important. Jack's eyes widened in realization looked at her hoof. You think this is us? This ain't. This ain't anything but a bunch of hair. A pony is here? Here. She had, pointing to Twilight's chest and head. We ain't going away as long as you do two things. Remember us and live. I know you, Twilight. I've had 4 great years to get to know you. Well, I don't know if you'll become immortal with these wings of yours as does you getting more powerful. I do know one thing. The Twilight I've grown to know and love would take this time to become immortal to study. Live life as the best she can. But what if I... Tears welling up in her eyes. I was about to inject, but was stopped by Applejack's hoof. Because the moment you stop living, the moment you shut yourself in, that's gonna be when we truly die. Applejack said plainly. We want you to live. Go and make new friends. Share the memories of us with them. But they won't be you, Twilight said. Applejack shook her head. I ain't asking you to replace us. I'm telling you, go and make new friends, and share the memories of us with them. Let the things we taught you go to them. Make new memories and grow. Land have made us just as immortal as y'all. Heck, you know what? Applejack turned to walk towards the cliff. Applejack, what on earth are you? But was quickly interrupted. Alright, listen up, Haven, Neff, or what have you. I, Abigail Jacqueline III, making a promise right here and now. When I die, I'm gonna say hello to my folks, and then I'm gonna find my way back to the land of the living. Put myself in a new body. It'll take me a few years, but I'm gonna do it. Applejack yelled out. That way, I can pursue my best friends never alone, and I'm gonna live life to the fullest. Even the Applejack to deny heaven, the Ghost of Rarity said, smiled. But I suppose that her plan will need somebody to help. It'd be much of a relief if I left her alone. Hey, I'm coming too! Oh, this is exciting! I'll come too. I don't want to face the journey alone. I'm coming too. As Applejack listened to the voices of her friends, a smile came to her face. Chuckling, she turned to look back at Twilight. You hear that? We're all coming back to see you again. So no more moping around or crying around here, get that? Because when I get back, I don't want to see you wasting your life crying over us. Especially not when there are so many things you could be studying and researching. Who knows? You might see me come back as a Pegasus. Can you answer that? Like as a Pegasus, flying around and all that. Might even do more than Rainbow Dash. Certainly like to see that, Twilight said with a smile, wiping her tears away. Applejack placed a hoof on Twilight's shoulder. Now come on, Twilight. Don't let Mirage's little nightmare leave you down. Not when you know there's a whole world for you to discover. Now as long as you live, we'll be alive too. Right next to you. Twilight smiled and nodded, and began to fade away into the star. I think I'll let you head home now. You already are, sugar. Applejack smiled.